and welcome to the continuation of Literary Gladiators Music Week, the show where we discuss and debate literature, but in this case, lyrics in all of their forms. If it's written work, it's game. Let's meet the panel.
I'm Trevor.
Charlie.
And I'm Josh. Today we're going to be going over a special song. The song is called Armor, and it is written and performed by our very own R.E.S. Gans, who will cream you all in Uno. Alrighty then. What did you get out of these lyrics?
Definitely sounds like a very dramatic tale of a battle from beginning to end. It's the not just the external conflict of the war, but also the internal conflict. Does the soldier feel like he's ready to go off? Does he want to go off to the war? And once it's all done, if he survives, does he want to come back or does he want to stay on the battlefield? And if he does come back, is he accepted?
That's very spot on. I really like the way that you said that and how it was and how it's being how you worded it too. To be honest, the way that I saw the lyrics is very much different from how I heard them. Reading them, it's very much like a Bob Dylan song. The rhymes: shield, barrier walls, give 'em calls, standing tall.
Yes, yes.
If you've listened to like a Rolling Stone. When you listen to it, the song itself is very spread out. He sings one phrase at a time. Very similar to something I just read, a poem that I just read.
And with Bob Dylan, great artist, by the way, especially one of my favorites, "Blowing in the Wind," and of course, "The Times They Are A-Changin'." He's just going right through. There was little, there's very little drumming with Bob Dylan, but hey, still, he's great artist, like I said. But just goes right into the next verse, then the refrain of the next,
Thankfully within reason. I mean, nothing about this is... I mean, you don't hear this and you're reminded of Subterranean Homesick Blues or something like that.
Yeah. That's more like a beat poem, Subterranean Homesick Blues, kind of like a Ginsberg work. But with this song, a lot of it does have to do with war, the battles, and the effects.
And if we have, may I see this for a moment? Thank you very much. We have holy here. We have where is it?
It is like 10 holy men.
Yeah.
Circle of friends.
Yeah. With your holy men, are these now? This is coming more philosophical, theological maybe. Are these? Why are these men going to war in the first place? Is it a holy war? Is it like the Crusades? This may be way off track. That was way. You can tell my reflexes are working well. Is it holy? What is it? And what about war is holy? That's something I always wanted to ask. What about war is holy? In fact, I mean,
there really is none, unfortunately.
Exactly.
But there's another way that I saw this. Can this be applied not just to somebody fighting in war?
Exactly.
Can this be the war of life?
Yeah, that's true. The Hopi have a word for it, not koikatsi, life as war.
The idea that these phrases, we have the say, last one today, watch them decay, bodies betrayed, long live the day. People deal with loss. In war, there's much more of a rapid loss, but there's that same kind of loss we deal with loss in life as well. It's probably the closest thing that we can get to a similarity between the two, which, if you know me, there really is none. But with regard to the armor is what we use to
shield ourselves.
Shield's the very first word.
Exactly.
And the fact that our armor is only as strong and as able.
And of course, you can see it as the armor being like you said, but to add on to it is as strong as you personally are. How long is that armor going to hold up?
Mm-hmm.
Is that armor going to be good enough forever, or is that armor going to, be your downfall?
Eventually, it slows, as it says, but armor is slow despite its glow, head to toe, high and low, time to go.
Yeah.
You begin to, it's eventually going to wear out.
Exactly.
And
nothing lasts forever, basically.
No,
it's
absolutely.
nothing, no matter how well made, no matter how much time was put into it, especially with drums, nothing will last forever, unfortunately. And, but other than that, it's,
Even time has its limits.
yeah, you're right.
And
We never know. We don't know when our time is going to be, but
especially considering that time is pretty much a man-made concept. Which, thinking about it, was there ever time before life existed?
the land before time.
I took an astronomy class. The human existence only lasted, if we compare the existence of the universe to a calendar year, we only existed for about the last 2 seconds of the year, or the last 2 minutes of the year.
That's not long at all.
So, humanity
What? Did I let one go again?
really,
That's alright.
compared to what has been,
yeah.
humanity's
Yeah.
dominance has been
No.
minuscule.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's hard to. That's hard to take in after all what's going on. For the beginning of man, shall we say, for the beginning of man, that includes women, so don't be, please. But from the very beginning, God created light. Okay. Still.
I thought it was Tesla.
Anyway,
Already. So what do you guys think of the song?
love it. I love it.
Excellent piece of artwork there.
Yeah.
Sonic and literary.
Thought it was terrible. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, I enjoyed. I think the song was very well constructed,
Exactly.
and I think that
And it has meaning. Of
The
course,
fact-
it has really good meaning.
the fact that it has multiple meanings,
Yeah.
and
Anyone who could put multiple meanings in a song. This is something I've, especially with music, I've been doing this drumming since I'm old enough to. Oh, that's that. That's a drum. I want it. Okay. True story.
and it's very poetic too.
Exactly.
It reads very much like a war poem,
Okay.
whether or not it is an actual war or a psychological war. We're now going to pan over to the writer of the song and its singer, and he's going to tell us what the song was meant to be about.
Hi everybody, this is Ari. So I wrote down on Facebook one time what this song actually means, armor. So I basically copied and pasted, and this is the actual meaning of the song. On the surface, this song seems like it has almost no coherent meaning at all. Nothing seems to link together, and there are a hell of a lot of commas. However, this song has quite an interesting meaning to it. This song's general premise seems to stand on the fact that defending something is better than going out and being aggressive. But it's not quite like that. The people in this song are not just standing their ground, they are being arrogant about it. Lines like, "We have the say," and "We won't be drenched," put this into perspective. They believe that there is no better way to win a war than to just stop anyone who comes within fighting distance. It's the coward's way out, and it's stubborn, but they don't care. Their arrogance is just a way to cover up their fear. I am stubborn and cowardly in similar ways. This song was written as a reminder to me always to take the initiative and not to be stubborn. And I'm getting better at this skill. I figured it out, and then I wrote this song. Hence the words, "But armor is slow despite its glow." They, the people in the song, realized after the war was over, and there goes the fight, that there could have been other ways to handle the situation. If the people in this song didn't just hold the fort and actually did beneficial things, imagine how much faster the war would have gone, or maybe the war wouldn't have happened at all. If their, quote, "eyes can see we are not free, and you do nothing. If you don't stand up for what is right, It's not necessarily bad, but it could be much more costly. I learned while writing this song that just because I feel my opinion should be defended doesn't mean that I can just sit and be stubborn and ignore other people's views around me. Back to Josh with final thoughts.
I guess it seemed like the three of us, there were areas where we were accurate and areas where not so accurate, I suppose.
That's what's great about talking to the actual artist.
Mm-hmm. Which, and that's also that idea of death of the artist, where once somebody writes something, it's up to everybody else to interpret it, and it may have absolutely no connection to what it was actually meant to be.
Just make sure, one thing I was always taught is when it comes to something like this, you can't ever be wrong unless you have a really good backing thesis or some, you can't just pull something out of the air and then say, well, how are you going to defend that? I think I've said this many times in not every other, multiple episodes I've said it. As long as you can back it up with sound, good, coherent,
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say, right? All right.
Anything you wanted to say before we wrap things up, Trevor?
Well, it given me a very good reminder that sometimes the best way to find an interpretation is to listen to the artist's own interpretation of it.
Yeah.
Even when some artists, be it filmmakers, songwriters, leave it open to interpretation, I think one of the safest things I've learned to say is, how do you interpret it to the artist? And if they don't have an answer for it, how can I have an answer for it?
One thing I know,
That's sometimes what I do is leave it open to interpretation, let people decide for themselves.
if I may, on a closing note, Don McLean's American Pie. Everyone wants to know who the jester is. Now, from what I understand.
Oh, Dylan.
Exactly, but no one's ever very sure. That's from my most recent understanding. They always, because that song, I think a lot of you know what it's about. If you don't, it's about, three, and I'll be real quick with this, but it's, it's a tribute to three really good exceptional artists back in the 50s, early 60s, died in a plane crash. Not going to go any further.
Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and the Big Bopper.
There you go. So they were really exceptional artists before their time, but still, the song is, it's a long song. It's, I think it, but it's a great song. But that's what I'm trying to say. I don't think he ever wants to tell you who that jester is, or something.
They're all he uses a lot of allegorical.
Oh, a lot of them.
References,
So.
which already, if you're interested in listening to the song, we will leave a link to it down below, and also a link to the lyrics. So now it is time to hear from the man himself, performing his original hit Armor. Give it up for R.E.S. Gans.
Shield barrier walls, give them the cause, standing tall. It is like 10 holy men, circle of friends, never to mend, letters to send. Rhyme, reason aligned, following time, elderly chime. Our eyes can see we are not free, but we stand like trees. It's our decree and our degree. Win, and so we must. Enemies dust as our foe rusts. We have the say, last one today. Watch them decay, bodies betrayed. Long live the day. Rock, rolling stone, never alone, holding the zone. Mighty defend, up the trench. We won't be drenched. Present tense. Stop at the fence. And there goes the fight. Armor is bright, defending light, but armor is slow despite its glow. Head to toe, high and low, time to go. Remember, this is LG Music Week here at Literary Gladiators. So a whole week we're going to be doing a bunch of lyrical videos. So make sure to check those out. And for now, keep reading. And just for you guys, I'm going to do a special version, a live version of the Literary Gladiators theme song for the credits. Hope you enjoy it.